I'm Teresa Matich with Resource Investing News. I'm down at the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference. With me today is Brent Cook of Exploration Insights. Thank you for joining me.
Glad to be here.
So Brent, how are you enjoying the conference so far? Is there anything that caught your eye that wasn't on your radar already?
Well, yeah, there's a couple of projects that I've looked at that I'm going to put more detail in. I can't evaluate a company or a deposit here on the spot, but you just go through and screen and find the things that look interesting. Yeah, there's 3 or 4 that look pretty interesting.
Okay, and you've given some interesting talks. You've talked about exploration in the junior space. What does it take to find a good gold deposit?
It takes a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of patience, and as an investor in this sector, I think it takes a bit of knowledge as to what a company is looking for, what is are the economics behind the possible discovery, and the ability to differentiate between a legitimate discovery and something that's just not going to work as quickly as possible. Because we know that on average, at least 90% of the properties here in this room are never going to become economic.
Okay, and is peak gold an issue for you in that light?
Peak gold, that's interesting. I'm talking about that today in a sense that I think what we're seeing in the way of peak gold is there's plenty of gold out there. There's 100 companies with resources out there right now, but those resources are not economic, and they probably, for the most part, never will be. What we've seen here is what I'm calling it is peak discovery. Back in the mid-90s, we found a lot of good gold deposits for a lot of reasons, but since then, the discovery rate has been dropping off and is continuing to drop off, and I don't see that changing. And I'm only talking about economic deposits. So what the upshot of that is, in my view, for us investors in this, is that all we need to do to make a lot of money is identify the very few economic deposits early on and just wait for someone to buy them.
Okay, and is there any region or area where you see more economic deposits, any area looking more promising?
Not really. I mean, I cover the whole world, and the whole world has good deposits of various kinds in various places. I tend to focus mostly on the Pacific Rim, because it's the most active and there's a lot going on there. But the same belt, another belt similar runs through Eurasia into Mongolia, and there's also some good projects in Africa. So there's good projects all over.
Okay, and how do you see the price of gold performing in 2015?
It'll either be up or down. My take, that's not what I do, but I think given what we saw the Swiss do, depegging from the euro, I think that's a positive towards gold, and I think we've seen a floor in the gold price. So I'm positive.
Okay, and looking at a little bit more of an established miner, you've mentioned that a Cisco in Virginia would be something maybe that you would give to your kids, so you say?
Yes, that was the question. That was my answer, yeah.
Why is that?
It's a solid company run by good people. It's a new company. They've got almost $500 million in cash. They've got the 2 best royalties on gold deposits in Quebec, one of the safest places there is, and they're going to grow. I think that's a deposit or a company that's going to do really well.
And are there any juniors you're watching right now?
There's a bunch. I mean, that's what I write about in my newsletter. So yeah, there are quite a few. One that I own, I'm speaking about in just a few minutes, is Mirasol Resources. We've got some great projects in Chile.
Perfect. Thank you for joining me, Brent.
Thank you.
I'm Teresa Matich with Resource Investing News.